Hello and welcome back to Spoken Essays. I'm Harshilwara and you're watching the live video where I figure out how to code. So let's see what we have for us this week and see for ourselves what we are going to do today. Okay, so let me share my screen with you guys and we can get started. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. Right now we have one viewer. Amazing, thank you for joining. Let's share my screen. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to have to do this now. This is where we were the last time. I created I imported a github file well, not a file, actually a lot of things, a script and a bunch of files. Yep, someone's honking so much. Yeah, so I got a script file, and yeah, anyway, so yeah, I finished the first part. Now I'm going to continue with the second part. Now I'm supposed to add this description somewhere, so let's see where I'm supposed to add that. Let's read this. The next part of a good package JSON file is the description field, where a short but informative description about your project belongs. If someday you plan to publish a package to npm, this is the string that should sell your idea to the user. Okay, when they decide whether to install your package or not. Okay, however, that's not the only use case for the description. It's a great way to summarize what a project does. It's just as important in any Node.js project to help other developers, future maintainers, or even your future self understand the project quickly. It's quite important. Regardless of what you plan for your project, a description is definitely recommended. Here's an example. Description: a project that does something awesome. Cute. Add a description to the package JSON file of your project. Note: remember to use double quotes for field names and commas to separate fields. Very good. Now I'll add a description after author. I think that place would be perfect. Now I can write anything in the description as long as I like it, so there's no problem really. Okay, so I'll save this file. Now if I scroll down to the terminal, I can see that VS Code restores the history from whenever we opened it before. So if I write npm start, the server will start. Now I don't need to do anything here. I'll open localhost 3000 again, and you can see this here. Now I'll copy this link and I'll paste it here, and it will check, and it works. I have added the description. Next we will go here. Now I do want to check something. What if I add this right now? It says I've completed this challenge. It doesn't actually check whether we have finished the project or not. So we have to be very careful with what I'm doing, with what we are doing. I have to be very careful with what I am doing. Okay, without further ado, let's continue. Okay, yeah, the keywords field is where you can describe your project using related keywords. Here's an example. Keywords: descriptive related words. As you can see, the field is structured as an array of double quoted strings. Very good. Yep, double quoted strings, and this is okay. Add an array of suitable strings to the keywords field in the package JSON file of your project. Gladly. I'll add them after that. Keywords, excuse me. Smart, clever, more words. I'll use a word I like using: brevity. Very good. Save. This is still running. If I refresh the page, it was requested, so you can see this asterisk means the number of times a page was requested. Now I'll post it here and say I've completed this challenge. Yes, I see. One of the keywords should be, so it does check for something, a few things, and it should also include freeCodeCamp. I'll include that. Very good. I have to save this file, don't I? And refresh the page and then see. Very good. So we do pass the test. So there are a few tests running that would check for it. Very good. Okay, add a license to your package. The license field is where you inform users. Cool. Okay, so we'll add another field. Some common licenses for open source project include MIT and BST. Okay, license information is not required, and copyright laws in most countries will give you ownership of what you create by default. However, it's always a good practice to explicitly state what users can and can't do. Here's an example of the license field. I do not know what project I am creating, so I'll use MIT license. Save. And I don't think I need to paste it, refresh it. Yeah, because it will run the checks here anyway, because it's the browser that's checking for things. Okay, now add a version that is required. Do we not have versions? I suppose we don't. No problem. Let's add a version. Add a version to the package file of your package.json file. Cool, I've added a version key and its value pair. Now, oh my bad. It should be a URL. Very good. All the tests were passed and I finished 50% of it already. Very cool. Now it says expand your project with external packages from NPM. One of the biggest reasons to use a package manager is their powerful dependency management. Instead of manually having to make sure that you get all dependencies whenever you set up a project on a new computer, NPM automatically installs everything for you. But how can NPM know exactly what your project needs? Read the dependencies section of your package.json file. I can see that. Okay. In this section, packages your project requires are stored using the following format. Yep, I can see the format here and here. Very cool. This also uses that correct, but I don't know what it is for, so let's leave it. Okay, and version 1.1 of your freeCodeCamp example package to the dependencies field. Very good. So in here I'll add this. Is a for package used as a learning tool. Okay, no problem. One point one point zero. Save. You can see a red underline here because of fixes. Expected comma. Yeah, I'll put a comma here and now it works. Very good. It looks better now. I'll copy the URL again and paste it here and check. There were a few errors. Dependencies should include freeCodeCamp example. It does. freeCodeCamp example should have the version 1.1.0. Yes, it does. DEP dependencies. I'll refresh the page. Perhaps it didn't work there. How about now? Okay. jQuery deferred exception. Expected comma. I think I should save this file then and then ask to complete the test. Yes, saving the file solved it. Very good. Manage NPM dependencies by understanding semantic versioning. Versions of the NPM packages in the dependencies section of your package.json file follow what's called semantic versioning. An industry standard for software versioning aiming to make it easier to manage dependencies. Libraries, frameworks, or other tools published on NPM should use semver in order to clearly communicate what kind of changes projects can expect if they update. Knowing semver can be useful when you develop software that uses external dependencies, which you almost always do. One day, your understanding of these numbers will save you from accidentally introducing breaking changes to your project without understanding why things that worked yesterday suddenly don't work today. This is how semantic versioning works according to the official website. Major, minor, and patch. The major version should increment when you make incompatible AI API changes. Oh, The minor version should increment when you add functionality in a backwards compatible manner. The patch version should increment when you make backwards compatible bug fixes. Okay. This means that the patches are bug fixes and minors add new features, but neither of them break what worked before. Okay. Finally, majors add changes that won't work with earlier versions. Pretty cool. In the dependencies section of your package.json file, change the version of freeCodeCamp example to match major version 1, minor version 2, and patch version 13. Major version will stay 1, minor will become 2, and this will become 13. Save. Copy the localhost code, link, and press enter. Very good. We pass. Very good. Yeah. Use the tilde character to always use the latest patch version of a dependency. In the last challenge, you told npm to only include a specific version of a package. That's a useful way to freeze your dependencies if you need to make sure that different parts of your project stay compatible with each other. But in most use cases, you don't want to miss bug fixes since they often include important security patches and hopefully don't break things in doing so. To allow an npm dependency to update to the latest patch version, you can prefix the dependency's version with the tilde character. Here's an example of how to allow updates to any 1.3.x version. Okay. So I add a tilde before. Okay. In the package.json file, your current rule for how npm may upgrade is to use specific version 1.2.13, but now you want to allow the latest 1.2.x version. Use the tilde character to prefix the version in your dependencies and allow npm to update it to any new patch release. Very good. I'll go here and I'll put the tilde. The version numbers themselves should not be changed. Exactly. It would automatically change the version number. Now if I use localhost 3000, it says I think I forgot to save the file, my bad. It does include that, and now we pass. 80% complete. Very cool. Thank you for the standing ovation. Okay, let's continue. Use the correct character to use the latest minor version of a dependency. Ooh, that is cool. Oh, major and minor version. Oh, that is cool. Similar to how the tilde we learned about in the last challenge allows npm to install the latest patch for the dependency, the correct allows npm to install future updates as well. Very good. The difference is that the correct will allow both minor updates and patches. Very good. Your current version should be 123.1213 and a tilde, which allows npm to install to the latest 1.2.x version. If you were to use the correct as a version prefix instead, npm would be allowed to update to any 1.x.x version. Makes sense? Oh. Major, minor, and patch. This would allow updates to any 1.xx version of the package. Use the correct to prefix the version of this in your dependencies and allow npm to update it to any new minor release. The version numbers themselves should not be changed. Very good. I'll change this to a caret now. Caret. I think it's not caret, it's caret. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to pass this. Yeah, cool. 90% done. This took shorter than I imagined. So much shorter. Perhaps it will take longer when I'm working on actual projects. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm going to do that. Okay. What else am I doing now? You have now tested a few ways you can manage dependencies on your project by using the package.json's dependencies section. You have also included external packages by adding them to the file, and even told npm what types of versions you want by using special characters such as the tilde or caret. But what if you want to remove an external package that you no longer need? You might already have guessed it. Just remove the corresponding key value pair for that package from your dependencies. This same method applies removing other fields in your package.json as well. Remove the freeCodeCamp example package from your dependencies. So I will remove from this till the comma, and I'll save the file. And now if I write localhost, it will work. 100% complete. We are done. Thank you. So yeah, this is what we did, and we are done. Yeah, okay. Now let's continue to the next section of this video, where we learn basic Node and Express. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime that allows developers to write backend programs in JavaScript. Nice. Node.js comes with a handful of built-in modules, small independent programs, if you will, that help with this. Some of the core modules include HTTP, which acts like a server, and file system, or module to read and modify files. In the last set of courses, you learned to install and manage packages from npm, which are collections of smaller modules. These packages can help you build larger, more complex applications. Express is a lightweight web application framework. I've already installed it. Okay, and is one of the most popular packages on npm. Express makes it much easier to create a server and handle routing for your application, which handles things like directing people to the correct page when they visit a certain endpoint like /blog. In this course, you'll learn the basics of Node and Express, including how to create a server, serve different files, and handle different requests from the server. Let's get to it. Okay, working on these challenges will involve you writing your code using one of the following methods. Okay, so I think I have to let this page go now, and we'll init one more folder which will get this there. Cool. So I'll close this file here. You can see boilerplate npm. Now we'll work with boilerplate, I think, if I think right, boilerplate express, probably. Okay, so I will exit this by pressing Ctrl+C. I'll write ls, please. Okay, yeah. Now I'll write cd ... to go back to the previous folder. I'm in FCC projects now. Now I'll clone this GitHub repository. Yep, and I'll also close this. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Very good. So by cloning they mean I will code spaces. It's okay. I don't have GitHub desktop. I think I can use, yeah. I don't know if I have Git installed in this computer, so I'll have to find out this way. Yes. I think only if I write git clone so this thing, but now instead I'll paste this line. Very good. Done. Very good. Now if I look at the Explorer, we will have, refresh please. I see. I think I'll have to open it from here. Nope, not you. File. Open folder, please. Now we'll go to Boilerplate Express. Cool. So that was opened. I'll check whether it did not. Okay, very good. It didn't. Already did, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, I'll have to uninstall GitHub Copilot. I can't use it unless I pay for it, apparently. This extension is enabled globally. Disable, please. Yeah, reload yourself. Cool. Anyway, we go back to the Explorer, and I think we'll get to it as we go along. Yeah. So we have Boilerplate Express open. I can close this repository page. I'll need that localhost instead. Yeah, of course, localhost is not connected any yet because I have to run the npm start and everything. Okay. Now let's read this. During the development process, it is important to be able to check what's going on in your code. Node is just a JavaScript environment, like client-side JavaScript. You can use the console to display useful debug information. On your local machine, you would see console output in a terminal. On reboot, the terminal is open in the right pane by default. We recommend to keep the terminal open while working at these challenges. By reading the output in the terminal, you can see any errors that may occur. Very good. So I think I need a split terminal. Not you. Can I look at? I think we won't need that. I think if I write npm start, it requires a module called what? Throw error. What's the module's name, please? Yeah, package will tell me dependencies. It needs these. I think I should write npm install. Yes, I think now the dependencies were taken care of. Now if I write npm start, it will work. Very good. So first npm install and then npm start will do the job. Now if I refresh here, it says not found because I haven't done anything in the code. Okay, now I don't need package.json. I'm not making any changes there, so I'll close this and instead open server.js. Very good. Now what does this say? Oh, I'm not even supposed to edit my server.js. Okay, my bad. I'm supposed to edit my app.js, so let's open this. Okay, thank you. Right, so this is the boilerplate code. Okay, very good. And in the output panel, I'll keep the output. I think this is the GitHub JSON terminal window, cloud changes, main, notebook rendering, etc. Tasks. I think we will see whatever the output is here, right? Hopefully. This does not say it's the console. The debug console looks like this. I don't know. Split terminal, please. Very good. Yeah, I know the default interactive shell. Maybe I can resize this a little bit. Yeah, that's so much better. Wow, bash. One will be, oh, I can't do that. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Then there's no point in using a split terminal. Bye. Yeah, right. I'm not using this at all until I finish the project, so I can ignore it. Okay, modify map.js file to log hello world to the console. Very good. I think I'm supposed to do it here. Let's write console.log. What am I to say? Hello world. World. I think, yeah, in quotes. Yes, nonetheless. Does the output say anything? But if I save it, I don't know where I'll see it, so if I refresh this, okay, copy and paste. Is this correct? No. Hello world should be in the console. I suppose, where will I see the console? Here, perhaps? I don't know. Running tests should be in the console. I did write that. I would like a hint, please. This is what I'm supposed to do. Console.log hello world. Oh, I think the semicolon might be causing problems. I'll save this file and I'll run it here. How about now? Still don't pass the test. Okay, so it's not the semicolon. I suppose, am I? Yeah, I am in the my app.js. Make sure I have cloned it. Yep, I am. My app.js. Yep, there are many methods available from the node console. You can find the list of methods. A common use would be to log errors such as, yeah, console.log. That's the one. Label, if I only want to print string, console.log, label data. View console in Visual Studio. VS Code. It's the debug console. Very good. So yeah, they're the same thing. We don't see anything. I don't see anything. Why is it so? Do I need to start this file again or what? Let's cancel. I have saved this file. Very good. npm start. It printed hello world here. Did it print hello world here? Let's run this. I passed the test now. Okay. Submit and go to next challenge. I do. By the way, is the Bluetooth off? Yes, very good. Okay. Right, next, in the first two lines of the file myapp.js, yeah, you can see how easy it is to create an express. Okay, yeah, by the way, in the meanwhile, I'll also close these. If I refresh this, nothing still. Okay, leave it then. Bye. Okay. Right, create an express app object. You can see how easy it is to create an express app object. Okay, so yeah, let express equals require express, and then let app equals express. Okay, that's it. Okay, and then express is an app, right? This object has several methods. You will learn many of them in these challenges. Nice. One fundamental method is app.listen port. It tells your server to listen on a given port putting it in running state. Acha. For testing reasons, we need the app to be running in the background, so we added this method in the server.js file for you. Okay, no problem. I think it says listening on port. So if I go back to the terminal, it says listening on port 3000. So I think that's what they mean. Yeah, app.listen.port. Okay, no problem. Let's serve our first string in express, roots, take, or routes. Yeah, I don't care. I will check. Nonetheless, it is root, not a route. Anyway, so let's serve our first string in express. Roots take the following structure: app.method and then path and then handler. The method is an HTTP method in lowercase. Acha. Okay. Path is a relative path on the server. It can be a string or even a regular expression. Handler is a function that Express calls when the root is matched. Handlers take the form function, request, and response, where req is the request object and res is the response object. For example, that is amazing flute work, by the way. Function request and response, res.send response string. Okay. It will serve the string, right? Function with two arguments, request and response. Okay. Use the app.get method, okay, to serve the string hello express, to get requests matching the root path. As if I understand anything. Let's try to see. So here I write app dot, and I see these are the methods allowed for this. I can understand that. App.get, to serve the string hello express to get requests matching the root path. Be sure that your code works by looking at the logs. Then see in the preview if you are using replit. Oh, acha. All the code for these lessons should be added in between the few lines of code we have started you off with. Okay, let's try and understand this. Okay, use the app.get method to serve the string hello express to get, right? So I think app is the express, so app.get root path. So if I read this again, serve the thing, handler would serve the request, right? Okay, so get the root, I suppose. And a string that says hello express. Am I doing this right? I have no clue. The test output will go here. I see. Output says your app should serve the string. Test completed. Okay, your app should serve the string hello express. EXPRESS. Okay, very good. It did not, because I didn't save the file, by the way. Ouch. It still isn't. Error not found. I'll close this and run this file again. Very good. We see a few errors. Very good. More errors. Yeah, I'm happy. Why? Root.get requires a callback function, but got a Ooh. I'll need a hint. I do not understand what they're talking about. Hints, thank you. If you had a website at example.com and wanted to serve a string such as hello express to whoever visits the root domain, you could usually. Okay, so app.get root. So I was right so far. I need to write a callback function. Very good. Item. Yeah, that's it, I think. Callback function, yeah. So I need to write res.send response.send. Oh, my bad. No, I write res dot send semicolon. Okay. Suppose I need this request and req comma. Also need to wrap these in parentheses. Very good. What do you say? Prefix request with an underscore. Nope. We will go this way. Let's save this and run start again. Very good. It's listening and it also printed hello world, by the way. Haha. Yep, I like that ES6 in syntax, and oh, I did not even look at it, but that's what I did. Very nice. Save. Do you allow formatting? I don't know. Okay, close this and let's run this again. We pass. Nice. Now I couldn't see anything in the console here or here. I don't know what that means. Please start a debug session. At all. Okay. Anyway, we go to the next part. Now before I continue with this, I have to take a short break. I'll be right back in maybe 5 minutes. Yeah. Well, that lasted shorter than 5 minutes. Okay, let's see. So now we are going to serve an HTML file. You can respond to requests with a file using the response.send file and then the path of whatever the file is. You can put it inside the app.get root and then root handlers. I think where the ellipses is where I'll put the response.send file method. Okay. Behind the scenes, this method will set the appropriate headers to instruct your browser on how to handle the file you want to send according to its type. Then it will read and send the file. This method needs an absolute file path. We recommend you to use the node global variable dir name or directory name to calculate the path like this. Okay. Oh, that is so cool. Send the /views/index HTML file as a response to get requests from the path. Very good. So I'll define that above itself. And I'll use this. I think I have to define it. Right. Let, I suppose, yeah, let absolute path be u. Instead of send, we write send file. Then if send file, and in here instead of this I will use the variable called absolute path. I don't know if this is correct, this is incorrect. Let's read this again. Send the view, oh yeah, I also need to change the path. Right. Copy, paste. Okay. Send this as a response to get requests to the path. If you view your live app, you should see a big HTML heading and a form that we will use later with no sign applied. You can edit the solution of the previous challenge or create a new one. I'll remove the log, by the way. I don't think we need that anymore. You can edit the solution of the previous challenge or create a new one. If you create a new solution, keep in mind that Express evaluates routes from top to bottom and executes the handler for the first match. If you have to comment out the preceding solution, yeah, I think that's a better way. I'll comment you out. Right. Now if I write here, okay, I'll have to start this. If I see any errors, no errors, very good, that's a good sign. If I go and open this localhost, we will see that I can see some files here, some HTML. I can see something. It says hello HTML, do not use until challenge number 12. Very good, I will not. First name John, last name Doe, and submit. John Doe. John Doe. Anyway, we're done. 25% completed. I'll close this again because whenever I change this I need to, yeah, okay. An HTML server usually has one or more directories that are accessible by the user. You can place there the static assets which are needed by your application: style sheets, scripts, images, footage. In Express, you can put in place this functionality using the middleware express.static path, where the path parameter is the absolute path of the folder containing the assets. If you don't know what middleware is, I do not know. Middle software, I suppose, yeah. Don't worry, we'll discuss in detail later. Basically, middleware are functions that include where was I? Yeah. That intercept or root handlers adding some kind of information. A middleware needs to be mounted using the method app.usePath middleware function. The first path argument is optional. If you don't pass it, the middleware will be executed for all requests. Bolo. Sorry about that. I'm back now. Let's continue. Okay. So this is what I was reading. So static assets. Assets usually mean files. Assets for any video editor would mean images or videos. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. For others, it might mean something else, but usually assets are HTML files, CSS files, I suppose. I think assets would be more about images and videos. Okay, but let's read this and understand what assets are. An HTML server usually has one or more directories that are accessible by the user. Yeah. You can place there the static assets needed by your application: style sheets, scripts, images. In Express, you can put in place this functionality using the middleware express.staticPath, where the path parameter is the absolute path of the folder containing the assets. If you don't know what middleware is, don't worry, we'll discuss it later. Basically, middleware are functions that intercept root handlers, adding some kind of information. A middleware needs to be mounted using the method app.usePath middleware function. The first path argument is optional. If you don't pass it, the middleware will be executed for all requests. Mount the express.static middleware to the path. Okay, let's write this while we do it. So express.static. Inside this, the path will be /public, and the function will be app.use. Nice. Okay, semicolon. The absolute path to the assets folder is okay. Let's use that then. Yep, this would also work really. Yeah, I think. I don't know yet. Now your app should be able to serve. Yeah. Let's see. I'll run this file. I'll go to the next tab and run this. No changes. I don't know if that. I don't know if we passed the test. We did not pass the test. Okay. So I think it didn't work. Now your app should be able to serve a CSS style sheet. Note that the public.style.css file is referenced in the view. Okay, I think maybe if I load this above this line, I don't think, oh, it didn't work, maybe because I didn't save this file. I don't know. Let's find out. Now, okay, we see an error. That means I did not write it correctly. Okay. What does it say? Requires a middleware function. Acha, app.use requires it. So mount the middleware to the path with app.use. I think I'm supposed to use app.use here and mount it inside. I think I'll cut this and paste it here, and I'll cut this much and paste it here. I don't know if that will work. Should work. Still, there's still an error, so that means root path is required. I already gave the root path, which is u. Suppose it didn't understand it this way. Root path be this thing. Am I doing this right? Let's find out. Mount, okay, middleware to the path public with app use the absolute path. Let's find out if this is correct. I have to save the file first. Start. Still an error. That means root path is required. I don't think, yeah, I have it correctly. Mount express not static middleware app.use path, and then the middleware function, which is this middleware to the path with app.use, the absolute path for the assets folder. So am I supposed to write this inside the middleware function? I don't know. Let's find out. I'll cut this, I'll remove this, and I'll paste this here. Playing around will help us. Error, missing root. Wait, my bad. Single quotes, save, run please. Listening on port 3000, that can, very good. Now we have the CSS. Pretty cool. Actually, yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. Yay. Pretty cool. Now I want to check one thing. If I comment this line out and if I refresh the page, what will happen? It will still open that because yeah, it's in memory. Very good. Okay, no problem. So I would have to close npm every time I make any change. No problem. I'll keep that open. Refresh. For now it says refuse to connect because it stopped. No problem. Okay. While an HTML server serves HTML, an API serves data. A REST API, a representational state transfer API, allows data exchange in a simple way without the need for clients to know any detail about the server. The client only needs to know where the resource is and the action it wants to perform on it. Just a second. Okay. Oh, not this. Yeah. I'm going to read that again. I got lost. While an HTML server serves HTML, an API serves data. Yeah. So we were building an HTML server up until now. Okay. An API serves data. A REST or representational state transfer API allows data exchange in a simple way. So I think by data exchange they mean whenever someone signs up, logs in, that's their data being sent and receiving more data based on the user. Let's say we're playing a game. Yeah, I'm thinking of a better example. I'm thinking of YouTube. Some data is being sent that I'm requesting this video. For example, I want to watch this video, so when I click on a button, a request is sent to some of the servers at YouTube, at Google really. This person wants to watch this video, so then YouTube sends that video's information. Yeah, I think, but I don't know how this works. I don't know if I'm extrapolating it correctly, if I'm interpreting this correctly or not. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. The client only needs to know, without the need for clients to know any detail about the server. The client only needs to know where the resource is, the uniform resource locator, and the action it wants to perform on it. The get verb is used when you are fetching some information without modifying anything. These days, the preferred data format for moving information around the web is JSON. Yeah. Simply put, JSON is a convenient way to represent a JavaScript object as a string, so it can be easily transmitted. JavaScript object notation. Yeah. JSON. Let's create a simple API by creating a root that responds with JSON at the path /JSON. You, you can do it as usual with the app.get method inside the root handler. Okay, so let's write it here. What do you want? So app.get method. Okay, inside the root handler, use the method response.json, passing an object as an argument. What do I use as path? They do not mention what path I'm using. Okay, but I think I should read this before I jump the gun. Okay, you can do it as usual with the app.get method inside the root handler. Use the method response.json, passing in an object as an argument. This method closes the request response loop, returning the data. Behind the scenes, it converts a valid JavaScript object into a string, then sets the appropriate headers to tell your browser that you are serving JSON and sends the data back. A valid object has the usual structure, key, data. Data can be a number, a string, a nested object, or an array. Yeah. Data can also be a variable or the result of a function call, in which case it will be evaluated before being converted into a string. Pretty standard, pretty cool. Okay, is the camera set correctly? I suppose so. Okay, yeah, I was just checking for one. Right, yeah. Now serve the object message hello JSON as a response in JSON format to get the requests to the JSON root. Very good. Then point your browser to app URL JSON. You should see the message on the screen. Let's find out. So I'm supposed to serve this object as a response of JSON. I suppose I'm supposed to, yeah. Okay, so app.get. In here the path is to be root unless told otherwise. I think the path is not that. Let's find out. And in here I write app.response. What was it? Request and response, by the way. res response.json. Right. Oh, and this also tells me the syntax. Very good. Body any, response any. Very good. Okay, right. Can do that. That is funny. I think let's also use the path. What path did they say? Is this what I'm to do? I'll also comment this out. Comment you out. I think we need that. Wait, I need that HTML. My bad. Let's run this file. If I see a bunch of errors, I do not see a bunch of errors. Maybe it worked. I don't know. I don't see that message. I suppose I think I'm supposed to go to this URL. It says not found. So I suppose I'm not finished with this. It says error not found. So yeah. Endpoint /JSON. Your app URL /JSON. Oh, my bad. I don't think I'm supposed to put that here. Maybe I'm supposed to do this. Save, cancel, run again. Yep, that's exactly what I was supposed to do. If I refresh this, it says not found here. Is it supposed to show that here? Perhaps. If I write /JSON here, what happens? Okay, it says hello JSON. Nice. Okay, so by root they mean, oh my bad, by root they mean this. So let's say if I open google.com For example, if I wrote google.com, it would show us this page because there's no slashes, nothing. This is, imagine this as a .com website, and this is what it would look like if I went there because of this file. Okay, now if I wrote /json like this here, so if I added that suffix, if I do add that suffix, it will take me to whatever the response is, and the response is a JSON string message hello JSON. Very good, nice, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool, nice, nice, very nice. Right, next, yeah, I'll cancel this. Yeah, okay. The .env or environment file is a hidden file that is used to pass environment variables to your application. This file is a secret. No one but you can access it, and you as in the developer, I suppose, the backend developer, and it can be used to store data that you want to keep private or hidden. For example, you can store API keys from external services or your database URI. I don't know what URI is. Let's Google that. Look it up. There's an amazing feature by Apple, and they tell us, yeah, so you can look up the meanings. URI is an app object representation of uniform resource identifier and easy access to the parts of the URI. Uniform resource by CD knowledge is a unique sequence of characters that identifies a logical or physical resource used by web technologies. URIs may be used to identify anything, including real-world objects such as people and places, or information resources such as web pages and books. Some URIs provide a means of locating and retrieving information resources on a network. These are uniform resource locators. A URL provides the location of the resource. I'm not going to pretend that I understood that. It will take me some time to understand that. Probably a few more some practice and some more reading should do it. Hopefully. I just poured some water for myself. I helped myself with a anyway, that's not important. Right. By setting configuration options, you can change the behavior of your application without the need to rewrite some code. The environment variables are accessible from the app as process.env.variableName. The process.env object is a global node object, and variables are passed as strings. By convention, the variable names are all uppercase with words separated by an underscore. Yep. Okay. The env is a shell file. Yeah, we have some experience with shell files. Check out the previous projects for that. The shell file, so you don't need to wrap names or values in quotes. It is also important to note that there cannot be space around the equals sign when you're assigning values to your variables. Variable name equals value. I'm going to read that again just in case. It's a shell file, so you don't need to wrap names or values in quotes. Yes, I don't. Yeah, I don't. It is also important to note that there cannot be space around the equal sign when you're assigning values to your variables. Yep. Just like we did with the relational database course. Right. Usually you will put each variable definition on a separate line. Let's add an environment variable as a configuration option. Yeah. Okay, I understand that. Okay, let's add an environment variable as a configuration option. Create a .env file in the root of your project directory. So if I should go here to the Explorer, now this is the root directory for this project. Of course, this is not the computer's root directory, that's completely different. Right. env file in the root of your project directory, which is you. and store the variable this in it. Okay, let's do it. I'll copy this now here to create a new file. I think if I press enter, no, I can click I can press right click, the right click mouse button, and click on new file. Another way to do it, there wasn't any shortcut associated with it. I can't see any shortcut here, so I don't know, but maybe I can use terminal to do something like that. Yeah, but instead of using terminal, I can also do this. If I want to go the terminal way, I can. No one's going to stop me. So if I write touch touch.env, and if I go here, I will see a .env file that has appeared. Yeah, the same thing, right? I don't know if I have nano. If I have nano, I'll edit it with nano.env. I do have nano installed apparently. Very good. Right, now I'll paste that code. Message underscore style uppercase. Now to get out of this and write out, I write control O. Yep, enter. So sorry, control O saves the output. If I write exit, yeah, I have exited the file. Very good. So instead of using this, the GUI graphical user interface, I use the command line interface to do exactly what this requested. Anyway, and just to confirm that it actually happened, I'll open the env file here. As you can see, that message, that variable was stored. Cool. Okay, create a .env file. Done. Okay, in it, yep, I did. Then in the JSON get, which is this thing. Oh, kya baat. In the JSON get root handler, you created in the last challenge, access process.env.message style in the transform the response object's message to uppercase. What? Okay, one by one. Then in the JSON get root handler, you created in the last challenge. Okay, I created this. So this is what I'm supposed to edit, right? Access this file, this thing, process.env.message style, and transform the response object's message to uppercase if the variable equals uppercase. What? The response object should either be message hello JSON or message hello JSON, depending on the message style value. Note that you must read the value of process.env inside the root handler, not outside of it, due to the way our tests run. If you are working locally, which I am, you will need the .env package. It loads environment variables. Do I have .env package? Let's find out. dot env-v. .env doesn't exist. It loads environment variables from your environment process .env. The .env package has already been installed and is in your package.json file at the top of my app.js file. Okay. At the top of my app.js file. Okay, so I need to do that first because I'm running my projects locally. I'll put it here. Nice. Okay. Now coming back here, I did not understand what this is doing. So what I'm supposed to do with this. So let's read this again. Okay, I'm supposed to write this message. Not message, I need to do this. Okay, and transform the response object's message. So I think this thing to uppercase if the value equals uppercase. I can see they're saying if. So do I write an if statement? Perhaps. Quite easy to do so. Process.env. If it is true, then you do this in uppercase. Otherwise, wait, my bad. This should be a question mark. root handler, right? What was I thinking? Yeah, then a colon, and then I take this. Okay, how do I get word wrap? Appearance, full screen, Zen mode, centered layout, primary sidebar, status bar, minimap, breadcrumbs, render white space, render control characters. Okay, I think I'll find it here if I look for it. WRAP, yes, word wrap it's here in view. Okay, function Z, sorry, not function Z, alt Z. Alt Z would be option Z for Mac users. So option Z, right? It didn't work that way. I'll do it this way. Okay, word wrap, very good. That's so much better. Yeah. So the if statement is inside this. Now I don't know if this is correct. I'll have to write an equal to operator if it equals uppercase or lowercase. I don't know how much of that will be true, is true. Let's run this. I think this should be here and that should be here. Wait, I haven't made them uppercase, have I? Hello, Jason. Save. Let's run this. If we get a bunch of, oh sorry, my bad. Right. npm start listening. Very good. So if I now go to JSON, it says uppercase is not defined. Ha ha ha. Single quotes. Save. Not you. Save. Refresh. It's still, yeah, I need to call it again. Now if I refresh this, it will print that in uppercase. Woo! Do I pass the test or do I need to make more changes? I do pass the test. Very good. On one for the Guinness book. Yep. Nice. Pretty nice actually. Yeah. So I was supposed to write an if statement for this. Well, if I wrote anything other than uppercase, this would take us to a lowercase string. Cool. Implement a root level request logger middleware, as if I understand what that means. Implement, so okay, implement root level, okay, request logger middleware. Earlier you were introduced to express.static middleware function. Now it's time to see what middleware is. Nice. They did promise they would explain to us what middleware is, so there, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, so they have owned up to it, right? Okay, middleware functions are functions that take 3 arguments: the request object, the response object, and the next function in the application's request response cycle. Right. Yeah, it's going to take a long time for me to wrap my head around this, but code wise I seem to be doing just fine. I shall not let that fact distract me from learning that I actually have to learn this. Otherwise I won't be able to do this when I'm working on projects. Right. Anyway, we can also end the cycle by sending these functions execute some code that can have side effects on the app, and usually add information to the request or response objects. They can also end the cycle by sending a response when some condition is met. If they don't send the response when they are done, they start the execution of the next function in the stack. This triggers calling the third argument next. Look at the example or the syntax. Okay, so a function that holds 3 arguments: request, response, and next. So the console.log would be, I suppose, the response, and the next function would be the next function, right? Let's suppose you mounted this function on a root. When a request matches the root, it displays the string I am a middleware. Then it executes the next function in the stack. In this exercise, we're going to build a root level middleware. Okay, as you have seen in challenge 4, to mount a middleware function at root level, you can use the app.use mware function, middleware function method, which is, again, if you think about it, this one. Yeah, but now we're going to do it with this one. In this case, the function will be executed for all the requests, but you can also set more specific conditions. For example, if you want a function to be executed only for post requests, you could use app.post and then the envy function. Analogous, I don't know what that means. Comparable in certain respects, typically in a way which makes clearer the nature of the things compared. They saw the relationships, relationship between a ruler and his subjects as analogous to that of father and children. Okay, I'll look for more meanings, derivatives. Okay, analogously. Oh, it disappeared. I'll have to scroll down again. Right. French, German, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Japanese, English. Right. A bunch of meanings, but okay. Origin is Greek. It's an adjective. Comparable, parallel, similar, like, corresponding, related, kindred, matching, cognate, equivalent, symmetrical. Okay, so analogous methods exist for all the HTTP verbs: get, delete, put. Okay, so what are we to do based on this? Build a simple logger for every request. It should, so every request, get, I suppose, it should log to the console a string taking the following format. Method path IP. An example would look like this: get JSON, this is this. Note that there is a space between method and path. Yep. You can see here, and the dash separating path and IP is surrounded by a space on both sides. You can get the request method, HTTP verb. Wow. The relatives root path and the colors IP from the request object using request.method, request.path, and request.ip. Remember to call next when you are done, or your server will be stuck forever. Be sure to have the logs open and see what happens when some request arrives. Yeah, I'll need to read all of that a bunch of times to really get my head wrapped around it. But we are going to use, I think, this app get or post, I don't know, simple logger for every request. Okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to use post or get, but it's supposed to be a root level. So I'm going to copy this line here and I'll go to town. Nope, sorry. Paint this. Cool. Now inside this is where we will do a bunch of mischief. I'll use the ES6 method of writing functions, not this. Wait a minute. Am I supposed to write it here? No, not send a file. We're not sending a file. Let's find out. Paste this. Oh yeah, I think yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Ping, 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 ping. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, we don't need a semicolon when we are using ES6 method of writing code. This is incorrect. It looks like it's incorrect. Why? Comma was expected. Right. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to write that way. Eh, now it works. Okay, so ES6 didn't allow it. What do we want to do now? Build a simple logger for every request. It should log to the console a string taking the following format. So not printing this, I'm supposed to print this to the log. Bang bang bang. Bing 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 bing. Oh yeah, we're concatenating. A space between you and two spaces and one hyphen between the two of you. I don't know if this will work. This might or might not work. I hardly know anymore. Let's run this. A bunch of errors, so it didn't work correctly. It says let app equals express. Oh, how about now? Okay, it's listening, but I don't know if this is correct or not. Let's find out. Right. I don't know if this is working. Let's find out here. Localhost, run the test. Root level logger middleware should be active. It's not. That means we made a mistake somewhere. I'll ask for a hint. I do not know. Yeah. Okay, to set up your own middleware, you can do it like so. Okay, so I'm supposed to use the app.use and not get. Okay. Yep. App.use function middleware. Right. But I also need a root. Yeah, I did this. Do something called the next function in the line. Thank you. Maybe this will work. So let's save this much. We need to give it root access, not public access. Let's run this. No errors still. If I refresh this page, nothing seems to be happening. If I look at the console, I do not see anything in the console. Is this working? I don't know. It's not. Okay. Hint 1. There's no answer. Right. App.use. I did use that. Am I supposed to not use this? If it were, I think I would see something in the console. Yeah. Refresh the page, nothing happens. Here it says option. 1 minute. ये पे यहाँ पे काम कर रहा है. What? Let's cancel this. Run this again. Okay. Right. If I do this, it returns from the HTTPS. Then options, then space this, and then hyphen space, then this. Right. And then the next command is also called. Get. The method was options, I suppose. And the IP was this. What does this say? Root level logger middleware should be active. Yeah, it is. Am I supposed to maybe put it above? I don't know. Cancel this, run this file. How about I run this now? Yep, okay, so that was the placing that didn't go through. If I run this, yeah, okay, we see the get request here, not here. No problem. So it says get root and number 1, which would be IP. Next please. Thank you. Now I'm going to take a short break. Yeah, this has definitely worked my mind up. So I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes, 10-15 minutes. I'll fetch some water and wash my face a little bit. Thank you.